Have you ever kept a diary? I've been keeping one on and off since I was a kid. In fact, here's my diary from when I was 8 years old. Got fish, fish died. Right to the point. A gripping story in 4 words. I kept this sort of Dear Diary sort of thing for years, and frankly, most of the time it was just a chore, and I never went back to read any of it. But I want to tell you about a way of keeping a diary that's so much more fun and more insightful, and something that you're going to always treasure. When I discovered sketchbook journaling, it set my brain on fire, and it inspired me to fill shelves and shelves full of a record of my daily life. And they've been the most amazing creative project that has just defined my life, really. And you can do it too, even if you don't draw, even if you have a busy, crazy life. In fact, the busier and crazier your life, the more you're going to benefit from doing what I'm going to show you. I'm going to demonstrate 3 different ways to make a sketchbook journal of a typical day in an ordinary life. And I'm going to explain how you can do the same thing in just a few minutes every day, starting today. Every day is made up of moments. In fact, our whole life is just a bunch of little bite-sized moments strung out over years and years. So what are the meanings of those moments of your life? That's what your sketchbook journal or your diary can help you to figure out. You're going to be able to sit down at the end of your day and you're going to say, oh, this is what I did today. And if you do this multiple days in the week, you could say, this is what I did in this week. This is what I did in this month. This is what I did in this year. This is my life. Here it is, recorded in this epic story made of little tiny moments. Look at this. It's a micro diary of just the first hour or so of my typical day, from when I woke up to when I left the house for the day. The first thing I see when I open my eyelids. Patty is still sleeping, still lovely. Tim is up. First pee. First tea. I turn on the security monitor for my first view outside. Then I look out the window. The day looks promising. Joe stands on the south balcony and sniffs the morning. Jack and I go out to do some chores. By recording the events of your life, you start to see patterns. You start to get insights into how you're living, what matters to you, what you're learning, and maybe what you may need to change. You have control over your life. It's not just random. And that's why so many people keep diaries, so that their life doesn't just pass by like water under the bridge, but it's recorded so that you can look back at it and you can appreciate it and you can understand it more day by day. And when you record those moments in words and pictures, you just get so much more insight and perspective. Next, I want to show you a few different techniques that I use to capture my days in words and pictures. Let's start with my regular sketchbook journal. I carry a sketchbook with me everywhere. And sometimes when there's a slow moment here or there, I'll pull it out and jot down a drawing of where I am or what I'm experiencing or what I'm thinking. And then I add some notes to add dimension and depth to the drawing. It's a diary that I add a little bit to throughout the day. These are moments recorded on the go. Usually I do the complete drawing when I have just a little spare time, on a commute, while eating lunch, on a long boring phone call, or while relaxing at home. And then I'll write a few notes down alongside the drawing to fill in details or to record some observation that the picture alone didn't capture. This exercise is a little bit like Instagram or Twitter or checking in on Facebook. They're little, tiny, random moments, a record of them that make up your day. They may not cover every event, but they give a flavor of what you did and how you felt. Now, a lot of the things that we're going to be doing drawings of are, frankly, pretty mundane, but that's part of the idea. Everyday Matters, I call them. In fact, I wrote a book called Everyday Matters about how I started to keep this sort of journal. Here's another interesting approach to journaling. Instead of recording events as they happen, you can do a retrospective look at your day. A lot of times I'll do this just before I go to bed. It's like creating a summary of my day with small drawings and notes about what I did and how I felt. I'm not aiming for some elaborate artwork here. It's more like quick sketches from my memory, similar to personal comic strip. And I keep it simple and efficient, just a minute or two per drawing. The goal is to capture the essence of the day without spending too much time on it. It's not about creating one perfect drawing. It's about building a visual story of your life. And the best part is it's pretty manageable, even if you have a really busy schedule. Just a few minutes before bed, and you've got a record of your day. Let me show you all the highlights of a typical day from morning to night, captured in words and pictures. So I'm going to start with just a brush pen. And I'm going to start by, first of all, talking about what time I woke up. For some reason, that's always important to me, even though I generally wake up at more or less the same time. But I also like to commemorate having managed to sleep until 6 a.m. I walk my dogs first thing in the morning. But Twiggy, it was a little chilly this morning, so Twiggy didn't want to get up. And so I went out with just Clover alone. So then later on, I did some more writing outside because it was really quite a nice day. So I'm going to draw myself doing some writing so you can see the style of this. It's pretty cartoony. It's a quick way of just getting it down. It was such a nice day that I was able to sit out by the pool. So I want to kind of fit the pool in here somewhere. I'm just going to sketch it out right now because I think I might write something here later on. I want to say that later I went to work out with my physical therapist, and I want to indicate that I was doing a lot of different exercises with him and then make myself look a bit ridiculous. Maybe I'm going to draw a few more arms to indicate that I was doing various kinds of exercise. And I'm sweating, of course. All right, then I want to write about a phone call that we had. We had a meeting with this lady in Hawaii. So there's a palm tree. And there, yeah, she's in Hawaii. And next I want to talk about rebooting the channel membership here. And so I do that. And then we went to see the 20th anniversary of Shaun of the Dead. So, okay, I'm going to draw a zombie. He's kind of walking around in a cartoony way. Okay, so now I've got all the drawings down. I'm going to pull out my pen, and I'm just going to write down some notes. I'll see you in a second after I've written down all of this. All right, that was quick, and you probably can't read what I wrote, but that's okay with me because a lot of it is just written, honestly, just for me. It's kind of chicken scratching, but I can always decipher my own handwriting. You're probably the same way. It's not for publication. It's not for sharing. It's just simply my diary, what I did today, and some thoughts that I might have had. So I don't really care if it's ugly and, going all over the place, but stopping and doing each of these drawings does help me to think about the highlights of my day by doing a quick drawing about it. Okay, next I'm just going to throw in a little bit of color. It could be watercolor, could be colored pencil, could be markers, could be tempera, whatever comes to hand. Okay, I think I might use my tempera sticks today. There you go. The whole thing took 15 or 20 minutes. Maybe you can do it faster. Okay, finally, I want to show you the most boiled down version of a sketchbook journal. It's a silent comic book with no words, just pictures. What we want to do is we want to capture all the moments of my day in a small series of little panels that make up a comic book. And this is an example of my life back in New York, which is kind of different from here in Arizona where I am right now. So the first thing I do is I lay out some panels or boxes that I'm going to draw in later on. And I'm still drawing with my Pentel Pocket brush pen. It's fast, it's bold, it's waterproof. All right, here's the first panel, an alarm clock. Here I am waking up. It's Wednesday, hump day, middle of the work week. I draw myself waking up, feeling a little groggy. And then I get up, I brush my teeth. My striped pajamas. Now I step outside with my cup of tea and I look at the morning to see what a beautiful day it's going to be. Out on my balcony, looking out on the city with my cup of tea. Next, I walk my dogs. That's something I do every day. I let them stretch and I do their business on the streets. And then I do some design work on my computer. Client phone calls. And then I noticed some people in the park doing acrobatic yoga. So I decided I'm going to pull out my sketchbook and I'm doing a quick drawing of their strange positions. So yeah, I'm drawing myself drawing. And then I do a bit of research on a new project, and I record that bit of inspiration in my diary too. Then I do a bit of grocery shopping, pick up some stuff. And then while I'm checking out, I decided spontaneously to buy a lottery ticket. Oh my gosh, it looks like I won. Amazing. And then I have a late lunch with my wife. I take my dogs for another afternoon walk down the street. I'm drawing it from a different angle this time. Kind of mix things up when I do them over and over. And then I feed the guys their dinner. They're chomping down their food. And now I'm skipping ahead to me getting ready for bed, going through the same thing in reverse, and going back to bed and sleeping. So the day draws to a close, as it were. Next, I pull out my watercolors. It was a nice day, so I want to keep my colors bright and fun. I'm using bright blues and yellows and reds because I want to give it a cheerful, but also a kind of a classic nostalgic color scheme like an old comic book or a children's book. Because I drew these with a waterproof brush pen, I can take my watercolor and I can go right over them, and I don't have to worry that they're going to bleed and make a mess. And I'm moving quickly. I'm not trying to do a great watercolor. I'm just basically coloring as if it was a coloring book. And I do a few little touch-ups. I add a few little details. And then I'm done with my day. Oh, one more thing. While I was asleep, I had a dream of having a Mr. Softee ice cream. Yum, chocolate. There you have it, my silent comic book sketchbook diary. Keeping a diary takes some time, but it doesn't take a lot of time. It's like talking to a friend or a loved one, sharing your day. You can decide to do it in depth. You can decide to do it in color. You can add a lot of details, or you can just dash it out. You can just put it down the highlights, and you don't have to do it the same way every day. And other times I might do a really rich, detailed painting. In fact, the way that you do the diary entry says a lot about what kind of day it was like. You know, was it a great day? Was it an important day? Was it a fun day? Did you not have a lot of time? Did you feel creative? All those things are expressed in the way that you express them. And if you miss a day now and then, don't sweat it. Just try to do it more often than you don't do it. Sketchbook journaling is an amazing way to enjoy making art and to deepen your appreciation of your life. Give it a try. Thanks for watching this. I hope it was helpful. And here are a few other easy things that you can do to support your creativity, okay? 1, subscribe to this channel, and then you'll know when the next video is released. I do several videos every week. 2, sign up for my newsletter. I write an essay every Friday. It's like this video, but in words, in an email. People seem to like getting it, maybe because it's free. And 3, watch this video to learn more about sketchbook journaling. Thanks very much. See you later. I've got to go off and write in my diary about the fact that I made this video about writing in your diary.